online. I have missed you guys so much these past few weeks, but I am back, and although it looks a little bit different, I am back, and it is going to be just the same. I have 2 awesome songs for you this week, Good Always and As the World Shakes. I hope these 2 weeks you didn't get rusty on these hand motions. Let's see.
Even before the sun and stars caught fire, even before the earth and sky were made, you had a purpose and a plan for my life. You held my heart and you knew my name. So I will walk in the plans that you have for me. I will follow, trust and obey, no matter where this journey may lead me. I know you are good always. From highest mountains to the deepest oceans, you have created everything we see, and still you made me unlike any other. Nothing compares to your love for me, no. I will walk in the plans that you have for me. I will follow, trust and obey, no matter where this journey may lead me. I know you are good always. Fearfully and wonderfully created, we're all masterpieces to show the world the love of God. Fearfully and wonderfully created, we're all masterpieces to show the world the love of God. Fearfully and wonderfully created, we're all masterpieces to show the world the love of God. I will walk in the plans that you have for me. I will follow, trust and obey. I will walk in the plans that you have for me. I will follow, trust and obey, no matter where this journey may lead me. I know you are good always. I will walk in the plans that you have for me. I will follow, trust and obey, no matter where this journey may lead me. I know you are good always. I know you are good always. I know you are good always. No matter what I'm gonna face tomorrow. I build my life on everything you say. Turn the light on, now I see forever. The path is clearer out in front of me. I put one foot in front of the other, keeping my eyes on you. My life following Jesus, I trust you. As the world shakes and things break, you are my rock, my everything. As the world shakes and things break, you are my rock, my everything. As the world shakes and things break, you are my rock, my everything. As the world shakes and things break, you are my rock, my everything. No matter what I'm gonna face tomorrow. I build my life on everything you say. Turn the light on, now I see forever. The path is clearer out in front of
job, you guys. I'm so proud of you. So the big picture question is, why did Jesus perform miracles? And if you've been watching the videos, if not, that's okay. But if you've been watching the videos, you know that Jesus performed miracles to glorify God and to show that he is the Son of God. And to care. Okay. Awesome job, you guys. I am so proud of you. So if you've been following along with the videos, you know that our big picture question is, why did Jesus perform miracles? And it's okay if you haven't been following along with the videos. I know that that's hard. And so the answer to our big picture question, is that Jesus performed miracles to glorify God and to show that Jesus is the Son of God, and how to care for people who are not as wealthy as us, you guys. The first week in the video, Jesus calmed a storm to show the disciples that he is God. Guys, these storms that we've been having, Jesus calmed them. It was all Jesus, you guys. And he did that right in front of the disciples. Right in front of their eyes, they saw that. And the second week, we learned that Jesus miraculously fed a crowd with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Guys, how amazing is that? Do you guys fight with your siblings and your family over who gets the last piece of bread? I know sometimes I do. I know sometimes I'm really hungry and I want that last piece. But guys, Jesus fed a crowd of so many people with just 5 loaves of bread. Can you imagine how awesome that must have been to see? And so today, our Bible story is going to teach us another amazing thing that Jesus did. So let's see what he did now, you guys.
Jesus had been teaching crowds of people by the Sea of Galilee. It was getting late, so he told his disciples to get into the boat and go to the other side of the sea. Jesus sent the crowds away and went up on the mountain to pray by himself. That evening, the boat was far from the shore. The wind blew and the waves tossed the boat around. Jesus was still on the mountain, alone. Around 3 a.m, Jesus came toward his disciples walking on the sea. When the disciples saw Jesus, they were terrified. "It's a ghost!" they cried. Right away, Jesus spoke to them. "Have courage, it's me. Do not be afraid." Peter answered, "Lord, if it really is you, tell me to come to you on the water." So Jesus said, "Come." Peter got out of the boat and started walking on the water toward Jesus. But when Peter saw how strongly the wind was blowing, he was afraid. Peter began to sink. "Lord, save me!" he cried. Jesus reached out his hand and grabbed Peter. Jesus said, "You have little faith. Why do you doubt?" They got into the boat and the wind stopped. Then everyone in the boat worshiped Jesus and said, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Jesus proved that he can be trusted. His miracles, teaching, death, and resurrection showed that he is who he says he is. Only Jesus can save us when we look to him in faith.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Jesus is so amazing. Jesus showed that he is God this week by walking on the water. Have you guys ever tried to walk on water? It's really hard. And you guys, Jesus did it. Jesus was able to walk on the water, and he helped Peter walk on the water too. It was only when Peter took his eyes off of Jesus that he started to sink. and Jesus reached out his hand and rescued him. You guys, when we are in times of trouble and when we are sinking, Jesus will reach out his hand and he will rescue us. And that is so important to remember, that you are never alone. Jesus always has your back. And so that is all for our story. And now I have our questions from kids. And this week, Pastor Brian is going to answer the question, how can I have a stronger faith?
Hi there, I'm Pastor Brian, and it's time for Questions from Kids. Julia from East Orange, New Jersey asks,
how can I have a stronger faith?
Oh, Julia, that is a question we all need to keep asking ourselves. Great question. So here's the thing. We know that faith needs to be grown. It's kind of like a muscle. Some people have called it a muscle that you have to keep exercising and stretching it so it grows and becomes stronger. And so how do we do that? Well, there are a few ways that we can do that. The first one I can think of is by spending more time in the Bible. The more we read the Bible, the more we study it, the more we understand who God is, the way he works, the greater confidence we have in him. We know how we're to live. And so reading the Bible is perhaps one of the greatest ways you can grow in your faith. Other ways are prayer, talking with God, asking him to grow you, asking him to help you learn and to live on faith. Another way is by worshiping, being part of a church. This is why it's so important that we're part of a family of faith, and we gather regularly and worship together and study together and talk through these things, learn from one another. But all these things lead us to this one idea that I think is really important you hear. You have to stretch your faith. You have to put yourself in positions that are uncomfortable at times to grow in that faith. Think again about muscles. Think about, lifting weights. Lifting weights is not easy. You have to strain and stretch yourself, and you add more weight, and there are times you're like, I don't know if I can do this, but you keep pushing, and it's through that exertion that your muscles grow stronger. If you never put weights on the barbell and just lifted an empty barbell, you're not gonna really gain muscle. So it's the same thing with our faith. If we're never stretching ourselves, if we're never stepping into those uncomfortable areas of life, if we're never sitting down with that person in the cafeteria and praying that God opens a conversation to talk about your faith with him or her, then you're not gonna grow as much. It's through those uncomfortable, stretching moments that we really grow. So I wanna encourage you to do that. Share your faith with other people. Go on mission trips. Live for Christ day by day, and you will see your faith grow by leaps and bounds, I believe, when you do that. So I hope that has been helpful, and again, that's something that we all need to be doing. So question back for you, who or what are you looking to be secure? Where is your faith found?
Of answering these questions, you guys. Sometimes these are questions that even I have. Nobody is perfect. Nobody knows everything about Jesus except for Jesus. So the answer to our question for today, it is so important for us all to remember to grow our faith. You, me, and your parents, no matter what. Pastor Brian gave us some great ways to show our faith. And what are some things that you might do this week to grow in your faith? So that's something to think about. That is all that I have for this week, you guys. I miss you so much. I cannot wait to see you so soon. There are activity pages up on the website as always.